Okay, so today this is going to be my last book haul slash TBR for a while. Okay, this one is so I'm in college and I'm a literature and writing studies major. So the majority of my classes are literature classes, which means the majority of what I have to do is read a lot. So I plan on these books being pretty much what I'm going to read for the semester, and I am not really going to have much time to read outside of this, I don't think. So the plan is that I'll be reading and reviewing not all of the books I'm about to show you, but you'll understand. Not the textbooky ones, but the other ones. But the textbooky ones I'm going to show you because they might influence discussion videos I make instead. But anyway, I'm going to show you what all I have to read, and I don't have every book yet. There's a couple that I own, but I've lent out, but I'll get them back. So anyway, I'll just tell you what they are. So these are what I'm going to be reading and reviewing for my the next couple of months. So I have a class about education and teaching, and sort of like an intro, not intro, but like, this is what teachers do. Are you sure you want to do that? So I have 3 books for that. The first is Creating an Inclusive School. So again, I'm not really going to talk too much about that because I don't need to. The second one is Why We Teach. And I think this is just sort of like all these different educators kind of telling you different reasons why they went into teaching. And the last one for that class is Teachers, Schools, and Society, A Brief Introduction to Education. So yeah, so anyway, that's my education class. Then I have a critical theory class where I have this big, huge bulk of critical theory. I took the first half of it last semester, and I'm taking the second half this semester. So I mean, it's like a big hardcover, like ridiculous thing. Actually, you know, I can show you. Okay, so I got it. So my critical theory class, I have this bad boy. As you can see, the critical tradition, classic texts, and contemporary trends. It's actually pretty cool. As you can see, mine has tape all over it to hold it together because it's so massive, and I have to bring it with me every class. But essentially, I'll show you, like, it'll have stuff like this, like Henry James, and then I'll tell you like about him, and then I'll have a piece of his criticism, and you have to end up reading these and then discussing them. So I mean, it goes through, like, it's supposed to be like a history of literary criticism, so it kind of goes from, like, I think we started at Plato, I think we end up in, like, more modern. I think last semester was more focused on individual people, and this next semester is focused more on, like, ideas like feminism, feminist readings, Marxist readings, things like that. I'm not sure, we'll find out. My next class is a American literature course, and for that is a class that I have the most books for. The first one, there's 2 I don't have on me. The first one is The Sun Also Rises by Ernest Hemingway, which I've read multiple times, and I'm lending my copy to a friend for right now. So I don't have it, and I don't know how to make it appear here. I'm not that cool. So that, The Awakening by Kate Chopin, which I have never read. I used to own a copy, gave that copy away. So I got another cheap copy, but it was back-ordered, so I'm just waiting for it to show up. Another book for that class is Jasmine by Bharati Mukherjee, which I actually read before, probably a year from now-ish, spring of 2014 for a class, for a world literature class, because this one is kind of both. So that was an interesting novel. It was actually one of the books I was going to review first. I never actually posted a review for it, so now there will be a review for it, so I guess it's the universe's way of telling me I should have done it. Next for that class is Bless Me Ultima by Rudolfo Anaya. Again, I don't know much, but it says he is the father of Chicano literature in English. So I'm excited. And I mean, I've heard the name, but I've never had to read it. Then we have The Sound and the Fury by Faulkner. I've read no Faulkner, and I know this is supposed to be ridiculous, so hopefully my brain doesn't explode. So yeah. Then this one I am really excited about, and is The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. I have read nothing by Toni Morrison, and I've heard that this is an amazing book. I've also heard that it's extremely powerful, so I am really excited to read that for my class. The next one I've read before. I feel like everyone has. Well, that's cool. I didn't even notice that. It's The Catcher in the Rye. I've only ever seen this in like the little editions, which I hate. But I got this one in a bigger edition, which I'm excited about. I've owned it before as the real small one. I got rid of it because it bugged me. But I didn't know that this is cool. It's just that on both sides. I kind of like that. But anyway, so when I review this, we'll go over it. But I have to read this for that class. Then what do we have here? Housemaid of Dawn by N. Scott Momaday, which is about a Native American character. So I don't know if you can tell, but this is the second half of American literature, so like later American literature. I haven't taken the early American lit class yet. Anyway, so the next one, I'll say when I'm done. Okay, The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Again, I've read this before, but I didn't actually own a copy of it, so I have one now. I think this is really funny. It says now made into a major motion picture. Like, I feel like you don't need to sell it. Like, everyone knows what this is. And then the last one for that class is The House on Mango Street by Sandra Cisneros. I've heard good things about this as well, so I'm really excited. So, I don't know if you can tell, but it looks like for the reading list for an American Lit class, this is pretty diverse. I mean, all these people are, Americans, but it's really diverse in that, not like all just Twain, Steinbeck, Faulkner. I mean, Hemingway. I do have Salinger and Faulkner and Hemingway, but included in that I have many different ethnicities and racial groups and genders represented, and I think that's really cool. And also what's kind of cool is that the guy who teaches it is Chinese, and he's from China. I think he's hilarious. He's great. But anyway, the next class I have is Early British Literature, which I only have 2 books for. One's a book, and the other one's like an anthology. I have Dr. Faustus by Christopher Marlowe. And I'm familiar with the Faust kind of legend. I had to read Faust Part 1 by Goethe for a world literature class. So I think it'd be kind of interesting. I'm excited to read this and see how they differ. Because we very briefly, she kind of mentioned this version of it as well. So I'm excited to see how they're different. And then for that class, we also have the Norton Anthology of English Literature, Volume A, The Middle Ages. So Chaucery type stuff. So anyway, that's that. Okay, and then for my final class is a literature course discussing the occult, the grotesque, and the monstrous in literature. So for that one definitely has the most interesting reading list. Kind of all over the place. We have The Walking Dead, Days Gone By, Volume 1, Days Gone By, the comic. So I'm interested. I haven't read any of the Walking Dead stuff, so I've seen the show, but I've never read any of the comics. So I'm excited about that. Then for that class we also have Macbeth by Shakespeare. Then we have Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. I don't know why specifically the Order of the Phoenix, but we'll find out. Then we have Fledgling by Octavia Butler, and I've heard she's like a really interesting sci-fi writer, so I'm actually excited to read this one as well. And then we have Dracula by Bram Stoker, and I feel like I'm forgetting one for that class. No, I don't think I am. But yeah, oh no, I am. I most certainly am. I'm forgetting two, but I already owned them, so... Okay, yeah. We have Herbert West Reanimator by H.P. Lovecraft, which is more of like a short story. And I didn't end up buying a separate version of it because I have it in my like collected Lovecraft thing. And then Dead Until Dark, which is the first of the Sookie Stackhouse novels that inspired the HBO series True Blood, which I enjoy True Blood, at least in the beginning. My mom reads those books, so I'm borrowing her copy of it. And she rants about True Blood all the time, how it doesn't follow the book. So I'm excited to see the differences, and I'm really excited to see how this professor is going to like string all these together. You know, I'm not seeing it, but I'm willing to go down this rabbit hole. No, I can see how they're linked together, like generally, but like anyway, I'm gonna see what her point is, and like how we're gonna do this. But yeah, I'm really excited. It looks like a lot of cool stuff I would want to read anyway. So I'm really excited for this next semester. Last semester, I had to take a couple classes that weren't really literature classes. I took 2 literature classes and 3 classes that weren't literature. So the majority of my time was spent not reading. Was spent doing stuff other than reading books, which is what I like to do. So it was kind of a bummer. I should really not do that till after I'm done. I'm sorry, I apologize for that. I'm like compulsively wanting to stack these up. Anyway, I'll stop talking. So that is both a TBR and kind of a haul. Let me know what you think. If you have any opinions about any of these, I would love to hear them. I'm sorry that I posted like 3 book hauls, I think. I don't remember. Maybe 2. This might be the second. See, I don't even know. That's sad. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later. Happy reading. Have a good life.